Hey, mommies, and welcome back to our Breastfeeding 101. Okay? Um, Today's topic is breastfeeding and a pot of collard greens. Hold on, Lily. All right, there you go. Now you can get it. This video, I want to start off by this. This is not a video of persuasion. This is not a persuasive essay. This is not me trying to convince you to do something that you wasn't trying to do. This is not one of those things. This is not a debate on whether to do or not to do. This isn't even me giving a fuck if you say no or yes. I don't give a fuck what you do. But this is if you're like, bitch, I'm gonna do this anyways. This was what I was gonna do. This is what I said I was gonna do. But I just want to know how to properly go about it. Okay. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. So I want to preface this by just starting off with telling you about my attitudes, my how I approach my own usage, and things like that. Okay. Um, when it comes to the green, I believe that cannabis is a an amazing herb. Okay, I am a person who is very much an advocate for the healing properties of cannabis. Um, I believe in plant medicine and the spirituality behind the plant, and that the plant really can open up your mind and your awareness to see things that you may have been very limited in your ideologies, maybe due to your upbringing or whatever the case may be. I believe that with medicine, with plant medicine, everything comes in a season. I do think that there is a fine line between us utilizing it for its purpose and us abusing it. There are times where I abuse the plant, and then there are times where I use it to serve its purpose. There are times where I am called to work with the plant in other different modes and mediums and ways and things. And then there's times where I'm called to stop and pause. There is a season, and in some seasons we need to light it up. In other seasons we need to stop, we need to pause, we need to take a break. Now, I believe that the cannabis plant is very great. Is a great tool to utilize during postpartum. Your first 6 months of postpartum is is it wreaks havoc on your mental, right? Those first 3 months wreak havoc. And so I'm gonna tell you guys a little story really quick. So, I smoked weed my first trimester because of morning sickness and things like that. And then I didn't really smoke that much the rest of my pregnancy. If I had like a moment of just like I could not eat and I really needed to, I might take a hit. But I wasn't smoking big bowls. And even when I was smoking my first trimester, I would take maybe like 3 hits of the blunt a day. And that was just to get me to eat and keep food in me. I just had really bad morning sickness. And so I had to pause. So I took a long time to pause. So then 3 weeks into postpartum with the baby, I was like, I wasn't going to go back into smoking. I was going to go, just not smoke, right? But 3 weeks into postpartum, the baby was crying non-stop at night. And I just didn't have no rest. And like, I remember this one night, I woke up and she was just whining and whining and whining. And I was just like, oh my fucking God, stop, lady, stop. And I picked her up and at that moment, I wanted to shake her. I wanted to shake the shit out of her. But I caught myself and I stopped. And it wasn't stopping. And I felt myself slipping into this really deep, dark thoughts, right? And now Because of my own upbringing, I am very, very, very hard on myself when it comes to how I respond to my baby, and wanting to ensure that I don't ever operate from a place in which I was raised in, and that I change that into something healthier, right? And so I was just like, yeah, I gotta smoke. I was craving it for a week then. And like, I was trying to put it off. I was like, no, I'm gonna practice discipline, da da da, because I have no problem once I finally do so, right? But it was like, no, I need this. And so I did, and it it changed everything. And I stopped being agitated by her whining, like, right, like this right now would irritate the shit out of me without it. And so it was just like all those different things, right? And it was like, I have to be patient, I have to be calm, I need to look at this from a different perspective. And so once then, it changed how I tolerated being up at night with no sleep. And it was like, okay, well, you know what, I enjoy the moments of us being able to sleep in the mornings. She couldn't have no control of that. She doesn't know her natural rhythm. Why would I have to attack her for her being human, learning to be human? I have a straw baby, but I just don't know if it's clean or not, you know? And I really want to give you something better to teeth on. Oh my goodness, love. Yeah, please sit right here, baby. Yeah. You coughing and things. Where did the microphone go? Oh shit. Yeah. There. You alright? No, this is paper. This is the shaper. That was for the last video. Forgetting. Sorry, y'all. I'm like doing like Philly, so I'm like forgetting where it is. Okay, so you okay? And so, girl, I gotta get her in a, so I can watch her at the same time I'm doing this, because she be into things, you see. So, um, let's see. Be still, girl. Chill. Yeah. You don't have to be everywhere, mommy. Yeah. Okay, so, um, it changed. It changed things, and things got better. 2 weeks later, she was sleep trained, and I did nothing. You know what I mean? Like, all I did was just go with the flow, but it helped utilize that flow. And so I say all that to say, you know, your relationship with the herb. You know what is right for you, what is not. You know if it's something that you need, and if it's not. Regardless of how other people's personal private opinions is on it, it's up to you. Now, what the thing we want to do, which is the thing of therapy, one of a therapy modality that I like to use with my teenagers is harm reduction. And so with harm reduction, I'm not going to judge you on what you do. I cannot tell you what to do. I cannot tell you what not to do. You can't tell me what to do and what not to do, right? And a lot of times people feel when they're on the internet that they feel like they are entitled to tell people what to do, especially content creators what to do, right? But the thing is, nobody can tell you what to do or what not to do. At the end of the day, that's between you and your baby. And so I can't tell you what to do, what not to do. Nobody can tell you that. And thus, if you decide, you know what, I'm a cannabis girly, I'm going to do it. I'm going to tell you how to reduce harm. Okay. Um, I'm not your parent. I ain't your mama, whatever, right? Just how I treat my teenage clients. I'm not your parent. I'm not here to tell you the rights, the wrongs, and things like that. That's not my role. I'm not your teacher. That's not my role. I'm your therapist, which means I'm not your friend, but I'm your therapist. So I'm here to just listen, but I'm also here to instruct ways in which and guide you in ways in which to make sure that you are reducing the harm in what you do. So when I have teenagers that smoke pot, I cannot tell them, you're a minor, you're this, that, and the third. That's not my place. What I do tell them is I explore their usage. I see where they're getting it from. I might give them a lecture on where they're getting it from. Tell them the tips and tools on different things and how to reduce harm, how to reduce doing this act in the least, you could do this act in the least harmful way possible, okay? And so with you, I want you to do this in the least harmful way possible. So I say that by saying some of the tips and tools that I have. Okay, one, number one, know your strand. Know your strand. Um, so you're a new mom. You cannot be fucked up. So you need to know your strand. I just got these just yesterday, so I'm not promoting the brand. This is not that. If y'all want some reviews and things on some cannabis, let Big Mama know. Okay? Anyways, know your strength. So, like for me, I'm a hybrid girly. I do hybrids. You're so silly. I do hybrids, okay? And I do sativas. I'm not an indica girl. I do like indica. I did smoke indicas way more before I was before becoming a mommy. When I was first out the gate with smoking, I started smoking 24, going on 25. So my brain was developed. Okay, so sorry, not to throw shade. I'm sorry, y'all. But so when I first started smoking, I had started smoking because I needed to sleep. And stress was just too much in grad school. So I was an indica girl, okay? But the thing about what indica does to me, honey, it might do something different to you, but indica keeps me stuck, okay? I don't move. All I want to do is eat. I'm in and out of consciousness. It raises my blood pressure. My feet will start to swell if I smoke too much indica. Like, it's too much. Like, I can't function. Too much indica is too much for me. All right. So that's why I like a hybrid. I like a balance. Like, I like to get the relaxation of the indica with the mentalness of the sativa. So I'm a hybrid girly. I can smoke hybrids all day, all morning, night, and noon, and things like that. I don't need to have a certain spot of when I do a hybrid. I could do it all day. I could work with hybrids. I could sleep with hybrid. Hybrid doesn't stop me from anything, right? Whereas indica is like I sleep all day and I don't work. Sativa, on the other hand, I cannot smoke sativa all day either. Sativa, after a while, it will give me a headache too. But sativa, I love to wake up. I love awake and bake with sativa. It helps with my thoughts. It helps with writing. It helps with getting active, right? So I'm usually a hybrid sativa girl. And so I don't do indica because one, I co-sleep. Two, I just have a baby. Like, I have to be remotely alert, right? Like, this is not me being a stoner. This is not being a stoner. Okay? This brings me to my next point. This is not being a stoner. You need to know your limit. You need to know your amount. You need to know what you could work with, what you're working with, right? Is it work? Let me get up in my thing now, flip it and reverse it. All right? You got to know what you're working with. You need to know, the things. So this is not you being a stoner. You should not be smoking an eighth a day. You shouldn't be anyways. That's when, remember I told you there's a thin line between abusing and utilizing it for what it's worth, right? Hold up. There's like a pocket of fat right here. It just okay. So you shouldn't be smoking an eighth a day. All right. I like to limit myself to a gram a day. I also try to limit myself to a gram a week because the percentage of THC that it goes into to the the bloodstream, and then what they'll say to the breast milk, it's like 0.000827, and that's for a gram. Okay, and so, oh baby, so you should not be smoking a lot. You shouldn't. Is the object and the goal isn't for you to be a whole stoner, having bowls and just lighting up, flickering up all goddamn day. No, I'm taking like a hit or two, maybe, in the morning, and then maybe another hit or two in the middle day, and then smoke at night. Now I do like me to have me a nighttime smoke session. It just does something to me. I'm a single mom, so this is all on me. So it's just like that one moment of mommy to herself where the baby is knocked out, she's asleep, it's dark outside, it's midnight, and it's just me and the raccoons is outside, okay? And I'm just out there, and I just smoke. I don't even smoke a whole blunt. I don't smoke a whole pre-roll. It's usually half. I smoke till the papers run out. And then I go and get my ass back in the bed. But it's not for the high, it's just for the sensation of just inhaling and exhaling. It's a little meditation, right? Sensei is my beloved. Right? Meditation. Right? Cruising and I'm rolling. I gotta listen to that song again, okay? Every time I go to her album, though, every time I listen to Green Tea Peng, is it Ping? I be wanting to start a whole revolution, so I can't listen to her that often. All right? Yes, yes, yes. All you gotta do is say yes. Don't deny what you feel, baby. Address. Open up your mind and just rest. I'm gonna let you know it's so. All right. There is only one for me. Okay, so getting back into it. Now I want to sing. Let me stop. Trying to not sing the second verse. Okay, so what was I saying? Yes, you need to know your amount. I like to go until the raw paper stop. Okay, when it stops, I'm like, all right, that's my cue. All right, let me go on back. And usually by the time I go on back, my baby looking for me or something. But yeah, you need to know the things. Know the amount, but I say 1 gram. With a vape pen, you could go about almost 2 weeks, a week and a half with that 1 gram, and it will ration it out. The only thing about the vape pen for me, I don't care for it that much. But I like the fact that it just doesn't leave a smell. It's much more accessible. On the other hand, I smoke a little too much with it. Okay, I have a little lack of self-control with the vape than I do with just the pre-roll. Because with the pre-roll, I have to physically go walk down the street to get some. And what I like to do is get like buy 1 or 2 a day so that at least I have like an activity to do, and it's like, okay, let me walk. And when I get 2, I'll usually get like a sativa, and then I'll get a hybrid because I like to wake. So sometimes I might be able to catch like a 3 a.m., 4 a.m. smoke session, and just kind of enjoy a smoking before the day begins. And then by the time it like settles in, the baby's up, and then now the baby's up with all her shenanigans, and I'm just coasting, going through the motions with her, okay? And that's when we get to play, we get to do all the things. But if I don't, honey, I'm so agitated. So agitated. So yeah. Another thing, know your papers. Know what is suitable for you. Okay, now I'm a little ghetto smoker. Okay, before the baby, I love a little XXL wrap. Okay, a little swish of blunt. All right, a little Dutch wrap. You know, but I'm really a big XXL girl. I do like my herbal. I like XXL wraps. They're hemp wraps, but they hardly be having them now. But I do like a little tobacco. Sometimes adding a little tobacco is what helps and elevates the high, right? I love me a good little Black and Mild. When I was in Houston last year, 2024, when I was in Houston, baby. Yeah. Oh, no. I got a cramp. Oh, got a cramp. Oh, shit, I got a cramp. Oh, my thigh. I'm having like a Charlie horse that's like, I have a Charlie horse that's like trying to come out. Lale. You did it. You dropped it. I didn't drop it. And it was wipes. It was nothing else. It was wipes. I'm trying to get you the boob. I'm sorry, y'all. It's so interrupted. Know your smoking tools. Lilac. I'm gonna put my boob up. Know your smoking tools. Like I said, I'm a Black and Mild girly. I had picked up smoking Black and Milds when I went into Houston. I was in Houston. I was like, "There's no weed, baby. I need." And then the dude, it was wild because like the dude that sold weed, it was this Mexican dude that sold weed, in the little bayou and shit. And the weed he sold was a synthetic weed, and so like the boys, it would be all these white guys just tripping out, honey, like just screaming, scratching themselves, feeling like I was like, it ain't that damn serious. It is not that damn serious. A Black and Mild would do the trick, okay? And I had became really obsessed with Black and Milds. They hurt my stomach. I hated the taste, and I loved it at the same time, okay? It took me a minute. It took me being pregnant to stop smoking Black and Milds, okay? The moment I found out I was pregnant was the day I was like, okay, can't smoke Black and Milds no more. And cut and stop cold turkey, okay? But before that, I could not stop. I could not stop. And I was getting them for free. Okay, kind of sort of for free if you catch what I'm saying, but whatever. Know your things. I don't mess with any tobacco wraps or anything like that. I do raw papers, but all my things is pre-rolls, or I have a little bowl, a little tiny little pipe. The pipe, now the little pipe things go perfect because you could really just pinch you some and smoke that, and you be good. Like that helps you with your hit if you have like poor self control. You're like, oh no, girl, I'm gonna smoke the whole blunt. And I don't judge you for smoking the whole blunt, but I do not judge. Okay. Now Lilac is 6 months. She's 6 months, and so I am going to be starting to slow down and decrease my intake. Being that she's just getting older, I need to take a break. And things like that. Baby, I need to take a break. And she's a busybody, so I can't be slow, responsive with a busybody. And she likes to grab things, put things in her mouth, so I have to be on my P's and Q's, right? Um, I will tell you some of the cons to it, just so that it's a well-rounded view. I would say the biggest con for me is paranoia. Paranoia. I have, I told y'all I dealt with postpartum anxiety. I am very hyper vigilant right now. I am on edge when I'm out of. As soon as I step out the porch, I am on edge. Okay, I am on high alert, and so I already have these things and these feelings, especially when I go to like doctor's appointments and things like that. I already just naturally just have a disease. I mean, not a disease, but a disease, right? Like I'm not ease. I'm not at ease. And so that is one of the things that I constantly have to deal with. Like, what if it's an emergency? What if something happens and I have to take her to the hospital, but they could see that my eyes are red, that I had smoked? Are they gonna take her from me? Wow. All right. Well, I dropped my iPad, but y'all see my foot? Hey, they're gonna be enlightened. So that's another thing. Like, is they gonna take these from me? Let me grab the thing. Oh, try to see if I can grab it with my foot. Yeah. Do. I'm easy like Sunday morning. Do. Okay. Yeah, so those are some of the fears. I'll be like, oh my God, this, oh my God, that, or oh my God, what if somebody try to set me up, or I be having like all these that don't be worth it sometimes. Sometimes it don't be worth it. Sometimes I'd rather take the irritation than the paranoia. So it's up to you, right? You also got to think about your environment. I'm around people where I'm really pretty much the only stoner. So I'm around people who have negative views on smoking and things like that. So that's a whole other thing to combat. And so I just think that mommyhood, all in all, there's just so much going on mentally that yeah, if it calms you, if it helps during this journey, by all means. I think some of the best moms be potheads. I wish my mama smoked weed. If she had smoked weed, I think that I would have had a better childhood. But then again, my mama is type A. So and I needed to thrive off of her type Aism because I would have gave her a run for my money, for her money. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it that I have with it. Enjoy. Enjoy yourself. The baby's fine. You don't need to do no pumping and dumping. The baby is fine. Like I said, it is such a very tiny, small percentage. You know how much it takes to get high? It takes more than that. But the baby developmentally is fine. There's no developmental delays and things like that. I think that if your baby was going to have developmental delays, it was going to already have it. Okay. But I can show you what this, like, this is a 1 gram, right? I think this is a gram. It might be 0.7. It's 0.7. Hey, pumpkin. This is 0.7. Now, this looks like a cigarette. But this is 0.7. Okay? It's going to take... Like, this was a kind of actually a smooth smoke. So, it kind of went a little bit more than my 1 gram. But even my 1 gram, like, I would take... Because, you know me, I take weed out of the pre-roll to save to smoke in my little bowl. Like, I be trying to stretch mine because I'm frugal and and all the things. So I am a very frugal smoker. Also, I smoke mid. I don't be smoking gas and things like that. Like, my shit don't be gas. It don't be loud. And so it's already like the percentage is getting lower and lower and lower, right? Like it already ain't gonna get me high, so it ain't really touching the baby. Like now, if you really getting some dank, I would say something different. Like I wouldn't do infused uh things. Like don't do like the extra weeds, the extra pre-rolls where it got the hash oils in the dust and it's wrapped and trapped in tasting flavors and it got Keith and it got all this. Like you don't need to be having all that, trying to smoke all that with before you be breastfeeding, baby. Wait till the baby off the titty, then you could do all of those things. You want to add extra shit, then do so. I would also say refrain from edibles. Now I have tried edibles, but edibles gets me too fucked up. It gets me too stuck. I had some good delicious peach rings. When I tell you the things had me stuck, it had me stuck. Another thing, um, when you are if you partake, you need to know how to properly sleep, right? So I'm going to do a co-sleeping video too for just harm reduction, how to properly reduce harm with it's on my tips on co-sleeping. Um, but yeah, so I just as far as cannabis goes, um, a little goes a long way. If you need a lot, friend, you need to go see the lady. Okay, you can book a session with me. I could be the lady, but you need to see a lady if you're doing a little bit too much. Okay, there is a thing of too much. But like I said, I don't smoke gas and things like that. Like I get the $5 pre roll at the shop. Okay, everything else is costing $30, $80. I'm sticking to my $5, and I might vape. Okay, but with vaping, you gotta use your discretion with that because I want to say it's a higher concentrate. Even though you're smoking less, but you're smoking more. But you're smoking less and you're smoking more. Be it that as it may. Okay, you take what you take when you take what you take with that. Sometimes I smoke a lot. Sometimes you don't smoke a lot. You smoke a little. You smoke a lot. You smoke a lot. You smoke a little. But you cough it a lot. Okay. So, can I get another one? You want another kiss? You can't have my microphone, so you can't. I don't care. So that's that, right? And my nipple came out because of her. Did I say the bill? Did I? Did I? Yeah. The bill now. Thank you, baby. I appreciate the love. Where is the love? 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 Okay, I'm sorry, I'm all up. I probably don't even need a microphone. I don't even know why I have it. But I be like, I'm talking low. Sometimes I be trying to talk all sultry and low. And so you can't hear me through the microphone. What's your name, girlfriend? Tell me, what's your name? My name is Jillcd. Just got representing love. If you love me now, walk about walk about into with all me's, baby. Don't worry, you know that you got me. Okay, so that's it, right? Did I cover everything, y'all? Y'all want munchies? The snacks? So that's another thing. That's another thing. So you know how I told y'all in the very first video that I said indulge. I said if you're hungry, indulge. If you want to indulge, get it, indulge. Well, that may be true. Well, that may be true. You need to be careful with the munchies. Now, Spirit had told me, I was minding my business, scrolling on YouTube, and I see a post. It says, I don't know who needs to hear this, but don't go gain no more weight. I said, and hey, they was right. I didn't need to gain no more weight. And I had looked at myself like, God. We done got large. And I was eating, honey, crunching and crunching and crunching and crunching. Like, I am developing health problems right now due to the munchies. And so that's why I told you, this is my new season where I'm on my way to stopping. It's time for me to take another break, another pause. Whereas I was deep in the throes, okay? About a month ago. So yeah, she's being entertained by my foot. So I'm trying to come up with feet choreography for the baby and trying to talk to y'all at the same time. But yeah, know what you need. Oh, munchies. Keep it to a minimum, honey. Remember, you are in postpartum, so our bodies is wreaking havoc, and which means like, you know, you could be condoned to gestational diabetes post labor, postpartum. You could have high blood pressure postpartum, all the things, right? And so if you're loading up on snacks and sweets and things, and so like I told y'all, I was never a sweets person. I wasn't a person who needed a lot of candy and juice and sodas and all those things. Like those weren't really part of my plan. Now some chips, some hot Cheetos, some hot fries. I could eat hot chips all goddamn day. I don't really want no Doritos unless they're spicy. If it's the flaming hot Doritos, give them to me. If it's the flame hot Cheetos, give it to me. Is it the fries? Give it to me. Is it the Takis? Give it to me. Is it the Fritos, the flaming hot Fritos? Give it to me. Funyuns? Give it to me. Okay? Any form of spice, I wanted it. And after birth, it became sweets. I want lemonade. I want fruit punch. I want soda. I want cheesecake. I want chocolate cake. I want cake on cake. I want a Snicker. I want a Reese's. I want a almond chocolate covered something. I need chocolate. I need sweets. I need it all. Right? I need fried chicken. Those were my cravings for the first 6 months of postpartum. But now I'm not navigating any cravings. Like, I'm not craving sweets the way I was before. I'm not craving fried chicken the way, like, Louisiana fried chicken had me in a chokehold all October, November. A little bit of September. Really October. And so all those things, it got your girl. So that was a struggle for me. So I think that now it is starting to calm down, is dissipating. But yeah, so keep the munchies to the minimum, honey. You do not want to add more problems than it need to be. Be very careful about how much you consume. Okay, if you got gas, you got the loud, you got the ooey, you might need to decrease it even more, baby. Okay, just get you a little weed, little Mig, get you a little Reggie, and call it a day. Don't get you no synthetic weed. Don't go to the Hispanic man getting some weed from a man who just got out of prison. Take that from me, okay? Take that from me. Listen, I have wisdom that came from life experiences that is just like, why did you experience that though? Like, why did you have that as a life experience? And it's like, baby, you don't even want to know. You don't want to know. But anyways, that's it. That's all that I have to say. That's it for me and the baby for today. This was very long just from my interruptions and I sing because I'm happy. And I sing because I'm free. His eye is on the Spirit. And I know you are a child. You are a child. Alright, y'all done.
Child, she wake up at crack of dawn. She don't be cracking a smile. So when she packing the ball, I grab her, I tell her, let me crack this line. Slow it down for a second. Break it down, ooh. She said, let me lick this line. Slow it down for a second. Break it down, ooh. We deserve